Well, his ranking in terms of other emojis is probably quite modest. But in terms of public ranking, he's number 2. He's a charming, quite distinguished, apparently English, upper middle class gentleman with a son who isn't.
He sounds
a gentleman.
He sounds very American, your son.
He does, yes, he does.
Smiler is a self-proclaimed original emoji who takes her job very seriously, and everyone else's for that matter. And she isn't satisfied until everyone does their job properly and perfectly, but she does it all with a smile, which makes her behavior very bizarre because she is practically demonic.
What's fun about Poop is that he has insight into who and what he is. And out of that insight comes a sense of humor which allows him to use euphemisms about what he represents in a witty way.
What was more fun was playing the villain. It's truly delicious to get to be that big and that evil and dark and that sinister, that kind of, you know, those are the meatier, juicier things to play. And that always makes it really fun. And plus it feels so freeing because you think, well, I'm not so bad. I could never be like this. She's a monster. I think taking something that we all use as a common language and something that's a part of our daily lives and giving it a backstory and giving it a message that's actually about being yourself and not forcing yourself to fit in is lovely, especially because I think a lot of young people plan to see this movie. I think that's really important, especially because of the technology angle to it, because I think they're all going into the technological world with maybe a little bit more, some perspective.
There's nothing negative attached, certainly. I don't think there is about Smiler, but there certainly isn't about Poop. And so far as the film is concerned, the idea of otherness being acceptable is something that I think all of us would applaud. And it's very present in this movie, that difference can be celebrated and applauded.
Whether children have devices or not, they all know what emojis are. And it's interesting that in our lifetime, a language has been created that is universal.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, no one really saw it coming, but we all use it. Yeah. I just experienced a thumbs up and some cool sunglasses about a minute ago, and I can communicate with people that speak a different language. It's pretty fascinating that our kids are growing up with this as a norm.
I'm romantic and a little sensitive, so I like beating hearts. That's my favorite one, I think. You know, although that was a little fast, actually. That's heart attack time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ba-bum.
Rabbit.
Ba-bum.
There you go.
Bum.
That's
there we
nice.
go. That's how it was.
Very romantic. I like to blow the kiss quite a bit, or laugh until I'm crying. Those are my go-tos. I think it's always interesting when you look back at your recently used or most popular. Oh wow, I really use that a lot, don't I?
They'd already expressed to me the idea of making him an English gentleman, and it clearly explained the casting, although there are those who would quarrel with the term gentleman. Everything else led on from that this was who he was. He was an upper middle class Englishman, polite, with insight, and a sense of mischief too, which I enjoyed.
Mm.
I really enjoy the moment in the film where you get to enter Textopolis and see the fictional daily lives of the emojis and how all of them interact. I think it's fun just to sort of to explore something that we take for granted and use every day. And then obviously I love the message. I love that the movie ends with the words "be moved," and the idea that it's important to be exactly who you are, I think is great.